Hello, everybody. It is great to be here one more time. My name is Gary Fowler, and I am the CEO, president, and co-founder of GSD Get You Done Venture Studios, a premier AI and quantum venture studio located in Silicon Valley. And today, it's with great pleasure that I introduce Andrés González-Olaechea from Peru. He's an investor. He's a startup entrepreneur. He studied all over the world. He works all over Latin America. He went to Miami-Dade College. I mean, the guy's got an incredible background. And with that, I'd like to bring him. In fact, he's my first Peruvian on the show, and I'm really happy to have him here today. Hey, Andres, how are you?
Hi, Gary. How are you?
Good. So tell me, how in the world were you born in Peru, or were you from originally?
No, actually, I was born in Peru, and then I've been living. I lived in 7 countries, I think.
7 countries?
Yeah.
Would you get bored, or what happened?
No, no, for work.
One
For
day
work.
you get up and say, "Listen, I want to go to Venezuela or Colombia." What happened? How did that happen? Which
No,
country?
work and family travel. So I've been living in U.S., Mexico, Peru, Ecuador, Argentina, and a lot of places.
So, question for you: how much different is the language between Peru and Argentina? So, is it that much different? Do you go in? Is it like when I go down south to Louisiana? Sometimes it's hard for me to pick up on the phrases. Is it that much different? Is Spanish that much localized or not?
I mean, it has some certain words that they use in Argentina. Yeah, that's probably different or difficult to understand in here in Peru, but it's pretty much the same. Argentinians just talk like they're singing, so it's
They're
quite funny.
singing.
Yeah,
They sing words.
yeah, it's like their accent.
Ah, I
They
see.
when they talk, it's like they have like a little tune, so it's quite fun.
Oh, that's interesting. And what country have you been in that it's so much different it's hard for you to understand? Or is it all the same? Besides Brazil, obviously, with Portuguese.
Yeah, well, as of language, I think Argentina is the most different one.
The most different. And then what about culture? How different is the culture, Andre? So you work in 7 countries, or you've been in, how different is the culture? Is it that much different, or is it pretty much the same?
It's different. For example, oh, actually, Argentinians have this European culture.
Hmm.
Many Argentinians come from Italy, England, and places like that, so they have more of a European culture instead of Mexico, for example. Mexicans are pretty much Latin Americans. They have more of a culture like Peruvian. So, but it's amazing. These different cultures and different ways of thinking just enrich you once you know how to work with them.
Interesting. And so, okay, so you come from, where were you born in Peru
I
originally?
was
Or
born in Peru. I've lived here for 7 or 8 years, and I've been in different countries.
and then what about how did you get to Miami-Dade College? What happened? Did one day you wake up and say, "I'm going to get my associate's degree in Miami"?
No, I got a bachelor degree in applied sciences in Miami-Dade College, and
Hmm.
I wanted to go to Miami because I think it's an amazing place to start working. I worked as an asset manager there. I've actually worked even in construction in Miami, so it's like a hub for Latin Americans, a hub for business, and I lived in Miami for I think it was like 5 years.
And then what about you got your associate degree there too, right? I mean, you weren't only in
Yeah, yeah, yeah. First I got the AA, the associate's degree, and then I got the bachelor in applied science in management.
got it. And so, what made you decide to go back? Why did you go back to Peru? So you were in Miami. What made you decide to go back? You were working in Miami. What was the call? Was it a call of opportunity? Call of the family? What made you decide to make that turn?
I think it was both. There's amazing opportunities here in Latam. Peru is a really rich country in resources, but there's a lot to be done here as of technology, as of investment. So I came back here, of course, to be with my family, but to see which opportunities I could take. And well, I'm pretty happy here. I think I'm gonna stay here for a couple of years.
And so, where do you live in Peru? Are you in Lima or where are
Lima,
you?
in Lima.
And what's Lima
Yeah.
like, Andres? So the audience, they're always curious. What's it like? Is it historical from your perspective? What are the difference between a Lima and a Miami?
No, it's really different. I mean, Miami is it's a cosmopolitan city. You know, you find different people from all over the world. Peru is more like a Latin American city. It's a small city. Well, Lima, you know, it's a small city. We have about 10 million people here, but services are not that evolved. There's a lot to be done here, and well, the great thing here is that food is amazing
And cheap too, right?
and really cheap. Yeah, if you're gonna compare with Brazil, Argentina, US, you can come here, eat in one of the best restaurants for $40-$50. So
Wow, that's amazing. And then
yeah,
what about the cost of living? What about like apartments? Are they expensive in Lima or not?
I think they're average. I mean, good places to live here, it could be around. Let's say if you want to buy a property, it's going to be about $3,000 for the square meter.
Hmm.
If
Well,
you
that's
want
not
to rent,
cheap. That's expensive.
it's average for Latam. It's
Hmm.
more in the upscale, but it's average in Latam. And but if you go to Miami, the best places are going to be at least double. So
At least double. Yeah, I
yeah.
agree. I agree. Okay, super. So tell us a little bit about what GoHome is doing and where you guys are today. And I know you're hiring a UI developer.
Yeah, we're actually hiring a lot of technology right now. I mean, tech people from all over Latam. Well, GoHome is it's a one-stop shop for real estate solutions. It's kind of it's a mix between Zillow and a couple of other companies in Europe. And what we do is we integrate the main solutions of the PropTech world in one place with this amazing technology we've developed, which is an AVM for underdeveloped countries. So we're able to see the valuation of any given property, about 72% of the properties of any given country in the world, how much they're worth, if they're cheap, if they are expensive, so or if they're an opportunity to buy, you know. And
Where's an opportunity, Andres, right now? If you were to say, where's the best country for the best deals right now for property?
let's say should be between Peru, Colombia, Mexico. There are a lot of places. And, you know, you always find outliers. You're gonna find that about 60% of the properties are in their fair price. 20 are extremely expensive. But you have like 15-20% of the properties which are below 20%. I mean, 20% below of their asking of their fair price. So these opportunities, I think they're amazing. A lot of PropTechs are taking advantage of that, of these opportunities, such as iBuys. There are a couple of iBuys here in Latam which are taking advantage of these opportunities. And the thing is that the end user don't really see them. You know, the regular people don't have this information available for them to see which ones are the opportunities, and that's something we need to change.
Is that changing? I mean, you guys sound like, are you just doing it in Latin America or are you going to do it around the world? Because it seemed to me that investors from anywhere would love to have that information at their fingertips because it's not
Yeah,
yet. I mean, it's one thing to talk about like a Zillow or whatever, it'd be another thing to say this is a good investment deal in a great neighborhood, right?
Yeah. So we actually, like a couple of hours ago, I was talking with a technology company from Europe, from Russia, which we were partnering with, and these deals are, I mean, they're going to be available everywhere. We'll probably be in Spain soon, or in a country in Europe. And just as you say, investors everywhere are going to be. I think they're going to find this information really relevant. But not only investors, you need to think that end users, the regular people, are actually, they have like 50% of their net worth in the real estate. So they're making really important decisions without relevant information, like how much is this really worth, not only the asking price. So I think we're helping them to make better decisions, more informed decisions, or like they say in technology, database decisions.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a great idea to come up with a tool like that. It's because it really democratizes investment opportunities. It allows
That's
you
right.
to be able to invest anywhere at any time. Then the key is getting that information and then being able to actually execute the transaction based on the information. That's where the
Yeah,
money starts to come in.
yeah, yeah. Right now we have this, like how much a property is really worth, not only the asking price, but there are a couple of things we're trying to do, like trying to see how much a property is going to be worth in 5, 10 years. We think we're going to be able to get that information from AI, and that's going to be like the Disney of this. The once we know how much it's worth and how much it's going to be worth in a couple of years, that information is going to be gold for end users and for investors everywhere.
No, that's great. And so, how big is the company right now? What kind of revenue do you have, and how's it growing?
Let's see. We have like about, right now we have about 40 people. Will be doubling the size of the human resources in the next couple of months. Revenue last month, we sold a couple $1 million in properties. We're thinking we'll be 4 times that in the next, for December. Will be
And so, you have a couple $1 million in property, but what kind of revenue do you
not in
have?
property, in transactions done by via like GMV, transactions done by the platform or through the platform. And that takes, in this kind of platforms, it takes like 2 to 2.5% of the GMV
I got it.
as revenue.
That's fantastic. That's good. You got to be proud of that.
Yeah, we're growing like 25%, 30% a month. Maybe I think this month it's going to be a little bit more, like 45, 50%. But the team we have, they're amazing. The execution they've done, I'm really proud of them.
That's great. Well, congratulations with that. And what are the goals? Where are you going to go with this thing? So you're now in Latin America.
Yeah, we're gonna go global. We're gonna go global. We want to be the platform where people, end users, investors, and everyone goes into to get this relevant information. And as technology-wise, we have a lot of things to do right now. We're thinking about the near future and the long term. Such things such as the AI I told you about. We're talking partnering with some companies or tech companies such as Technopeak, for example, to develop better software, develop better solutions, and improve our technology. But the end thing here is to go global. Everyone deserves to get this information.
Well, absolutely. I was working on a project a few years ago that actually, this project called Propy, and it was about doing real estate transactions, cross-border real estate transactions. But I like the way the slant you have in this, being able to, be wherever you are to look where the investments are is really exciting, because that's the name of the game: is what's the forecast for the future? Where is that property today? right? I mean, because that's how you make your money. It's an amazing way to do it. I know so many people that have made money. Now imagine tying in something like a lending tree or some financial services company in that could actually execute the transaction of
Yeah,
finance.
yeah. For example, where do you live, Gary?
Right now I'm in Palm Beach in Florida.
Okay. Imagine you wanna invest in real estate.
Hmm.
Why should you just? I mean, this happens to the end users. Why should you just think about Palm Beach or U.S.? If you got the information from a Colombia real estate, or Colombia property, or Mexican property, or Spanish property, and I tell you, listen, this is how much it's worth. It's worth $100,000. They're selling it for $80,000. It's gonna cost 150 in 5 years. Why shouldn't you invest? Well, this cross
Border transactions.
these cross-border transactions should be available to everyone.
Hmm.
The world is every day the world goes more global, and people should start seeing or looking for the opportunities everywhere instead of just their own city, their own country, their own district.
Well, I
You
mean,
know?
I agree with you 100%. There are 8.1 billion people. In fact, I just wrote an article for the United Nations. There are 8.1 billion people on the planet. By the end of this century, it would be 13 billion. The challenge is that, there's issues that we have to face. We got to double the food supply by 2050 in order to feed the people. We can't increase the number of farm animals because 26% of the pollution today is created by farm animals. We got to find all kinds of real innovative ways, and then we got to think about how to optimize our lives. It may be that you want to live in Colombia or Peru, or you may want to live in Wisconsin or Moscow or Vladivostok. But we should have the freedom to be able to choose. And as we start to become closer together and we're experienced this digital transformation through the pandemic. I mean, StreamYard was what only developed in 2018 in
Yeah,
Canada. It's, these tech Zoom. I remember I was one of the early Zoom users. I mean, before that, people were talking about Skype, which kind of, not that good at the time. But look at it now. We've changed. And as the world comes together, you can do investments from Miami to Peru, from wherever, right? London to Peru or London to San Francisco. It doesn't really matter. It matters. The problem is knowledge, because knowledge is power. What
yeah,
is growing? What kind of returns am I going to get over the next 5 years? Where is it a safe, democratically safe place to bet, so you don't have problems with somebody confiscating your property? And risk, right? So risk is another
yeah,
crime, those kind of things. But if you have that kind of system in front of you, that surely makes the world a better place. And I can see it right here in the States. I mean, from living in Miami, I look sometimes at houses in Arkansas just because they're a great deal and they're beautiful. And there's some incredible places that are located here in the States, but it's hard to get access. If you can get your Zillow and you can go down through and look on the internet, but talk about how fast it's going to grow, how to be able to do an all-in-one solution where you can purchase on the same platform. That's where it starts becoming really interesting. So I love it. And especially
yeah,
in multiple currencies, right?
yeah. And you see this information that also helps the sellers. We last month, for example, we had like 10% of the transactions we had were closed in the first 2 hours of the property being uploaded.
There's
That's amazing. 2 hours from where the lead came into the platform until he was signing the contract or the deal.
wow.
So this information makes people makes transactions faster because people know what they're looking for. They know what they're getting for their money. So it makes everything better. And that's one of the things we need to. I mean, we want to do. That's one of our main goals, and I think that's where technology should go.
And so you say you're growing 25% a month?
Yeah, about 25% a month.
That's fantastic. That's a lot of growth. How do you
Yeah,
manage that kind of growth?
amazing talent from the people we have. I mean, our commercial sales or commercial team, their execution is amazing. That technology people are. I mean, I think they're wizards. It's something amazing what they're doing, and everyone's it's they're on the same team. They act as a team. They work as a team. They help each other. So that makes us. I think that's what makes execution great.
That's great. Work as a team and help each other as a team. That's really important. So if you created a good in corporate culture is really important in a startup. So, and do you have employees in different countries, or are they all located in Peru?
No, we have employees in Peru. We have employees in Colombia. We've got a couple of advisors in Argentina, and I think we actually have one of the tech developers. I think he's in Spain.
Wow. And where do you find the talent? I know you're looking for UI people. Where do you find the talent today? Where are they located?
Right now, for example, technology, we're looking everywhere. We're looking everywhere. Of course, US is one of the best hubs for talent, for tech talent in the world, but it's a little bit expensive for us. You know, US salaries are much higher than Latin American salaries, and
What's
we
a
have some
typical compared to developers? So you got a UI person in the US and a UI person in Peru. What's the difference in salaries?
3 or 4 times. So it's a
3 to
lot.
4 times. So give me, for instance, what would they be in Peru?
Let's see. Mid, a semi-senior developer here in Peru should be around $2,000 or $2,500. That's gonna cost you at least $100,000 a year in US.
Mm-hmm.
So, and even more if you go to Silicon Valley or some other tech hubs, it's gonna be more. So what we're doing is we try to hire the best talent, and we partner up with the best companies technology-wise. I just mentioned Technopeak, for example. They help us get more talent. They help us with development of technology and things like that.
That's great. All right. Well, we're coming to the top of the hour. So, in summary, what are your closing thoughts, and how do people get a hold of you?
What are my what?
Closing thoughts. What are
Okay.
your summary? Closing thoughts, and how do people get a hold of you?
I mean, there's a lot of things here to do, and not only on the real estate world, but I think you should think outside the box. Get the best. If you want to be an entrepreneur, you should get the best talent out there, and see not only think about the human resources companies and things like that to hire people, but just not be afraid and text them, write them by LinkedIn. And if you want to get a hold of me, just do the same. Just write me a text, a message from LinkedIn, and usually entrepreneurs are willing to talk with each other, are willing to exchange ideas, and if we're mistaken, we'll just learn from that and go ahead.
No, that's great. Well, listen, I appreciate you taking your time out of your busy schedule. I know your company's growing, and I'm sure you got a lot to do. My name's Gary Fowler. I'm the CEO, co-founder of GSD Get Shit Done Venture Studios, and this is another edition of GSD Presents Silicon Valley AI and Tech. Stay tuned for another show coming up Thursday. It'll be exciting and dynamic as always. For all you out there, stay safe, stay happy, and stay healthy. I appreciate it, and I'll talk to you soon. Thank you very much.
Bye. Have an amazing